Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to solo Nightmare Impel down after the nerfs. If you guys aren't aware, FOYU did make a change to both SUKE and TORI. He made it so that bosses can find you if you're SUKE, so invisibility doesn't work on bosses anymore. And for TORI, he nerfed the regen bar, so you can't stay in the full Phoenix form forever anymore. It's just back to how it was. It's limited. So this is a completely new method. It doesn't require any of those, of course. It also doesn't require CYBORG. So this isn't a Nightmare Plus only thing. You can do this in regular Nightmare. As in the video, I'm in regular Nightmare, I'm not in Nightmare Plus. So what you're gonna need is, the only thing that you absolutely need is Horo. That's it. That's the only thing you need is Horo. That's the only fruit. So what I like to do is, when I load into the Nightmare mode, I like to loot the rare chest first, so that I can just see if I get the Horo right off the bat. And if I don't get the Horo, I just leave. I just go back to the main menu, go back to my private server, and just load up another Impel down. Because there's no reason, like, if you don't get Horo in the first room, there's really no reason to continuing trying to find in the next rooms, because the first room usually has a lot of rare chests. So you can always just load up real quick. It's gonna take you at most like 3-4 minutes each rotation if you get really unlucky. I've only had to do it like once every like 3 runs really. So if you don't get Horo in the first room, just restart, go back in and try to find it again. After you find Horo, you're basically done. The only thing you're staying in the room for is to loot up for potions. And this is going to be one of the recommendations of mine. This isn't a requirement, but it's a big recommendation. I recommend looting everything in the first room and getting as much potions as you can. Ideally, you want to get around 10 health potions. If you're a little bit under, that's fine. Just try to get as much as you possibly can. The stamina potions don't really matter too much. You can get around like 5 or 6. That's perfectly fine. That's more than enough. The health potions is what you want to get an abundance of pretty early on. Once you get to the second floor, you can reset your stats if you have a sword build. If you don't, you can just keep the stats that I have at the very beginning of the video for the Horo build. Once you get here, what you want to do is you want to walk up to the hallway and use Soul Unbound. You just want to spawn whatever is in that room. So for me, it was NPCs and then a boss. For you, a boss might just spawn almost immediately. It's random, like I said. It could be 1 wave of NPCs and a boss, 2 waves of NPCs and a boss. It's completely and utterly random. Just use Soul Unbound just to make sure that a boss doesn't immediately spawn. Alright, so for my first boss was Elo Bunny, and Elo Bunny has a huge hitbox. So what you would normally do if you got like Cupid Queen or Love Empress is that you would use Hollow Barrage. You would unmouse lock, put your mouse through the window, unmouse lock so that you can hover your cursor over the boss, and then just keep spamming your barrages over the boss. Since my first boss was Elo Bunny, I don't have to do that. You could just send the barrage to the wall and it would just stick to him, because his hitbox is just huge in general. So like I said, if it's not Elo Bunny and if it's the Love Empress or the Cupid Queen, you're gonna have to unmouse lock, look through the window, and keep your cursor over them. Otherwise, you can just do what I'm doing and then just send it towards the wall. Alright, so I just wanted to show a quick example of the Elo Bunny on the 3rd floor. If you do get him here, all you have to do is just, keep staying in this first room. He will get stuck at the very beginning, But sometimes, like in this case for me, he got in the room just randomly. He just randomly decided to walk in. If he does do that, all you have to do is run out and he'll get stuck on the wall when you're leaving the room. So just immediately head out and head to the left or right, doesn't really matter. As long as he starts jumping at the wall like he just did right there, that's all that matters. And he'll just stay up there for the rest of the fight. That's all you have to do. This is only if you get the Elo Bunny in the 3rd floor, this is all you have to do. You can do this on the left side, the right side of the room. He'll always jump up on the wall. Just leave the room, make him jump up there, and then send the holo barrages through the wall. The holo barrages will go through the wall. So I just wanted to show an example of like fighting the Love Empress. She's actually a little bit different because her ultimate teleports towards you. So what you actually want to do is you want to send the holo barrage towards her first, drink a health potion because you're going to want to heal because she does a lot of damage. And then after she teleports, all you want to do is just run down to the lower part of the first room if you get the Love Empress for the first room. If you get her in the other rooms, you don't have to do this. You don't have to worry about it. There's a completely different way to fight her. But this is only if you fight her in the first room. Just come down to the lower section. As you can see in my thing, she actually jumped down. So all I do is I just switch places. She stays at the lower part, I go at the upper part. And that's all you have to do. So whenever she's on the lower part, you go on the upper part. Whenever you're on the upper part, or whenever she's on the upper part, you go on the lower part. And you just keep doing that over and over until you beat her. Alright, so this is how you fight the Love Empress. If you don't get her in the first room, this is if you get her in any other room. Basically, all you have to do is just keep moving. You kind of fight her similar to Ball later on. All you have to do is just keep moving. And anytime she hits you with any move, the Love Wave, or she hits you with an ult, just immediately drink a health potion. You constantly want to be healing against her because she does a lot of damage, like I mentioned before. So that's the main thing you want to do, is just anytime she hits you with the move, the Love Arrow, the Love Wave, just immediately pop a health potion as soon as you can right after. Keep moving and then just keep spamming holo barrage until she dies. Alright, so once you clear out the 2 rooms, you actually don't want to go down there and activate the lever. You want to come back to the main room first, like where the gate is. You want to stand behind the wall that I eventually go to. I didn't go there initially, but you actually want to go there first, then activate Soul Unbound, go down there, activate the lever, and then, attack the Sphinx from behind this wall. Alright, so for the rest of the bosses from floor 2 to 3, all you're really going to do is just going to be sprinting around, rolling around and just spamming holo barrage. That's all you're really doing. I didn't fight the Cupid Queen until the 3rd floor, and that's all you have to do for her too. Just keep running around, keep spamming holo barrage, and that's it. Alright, so the only thing you really need to know for Cupid Queen is that once she gets to half health, she'll transform and then just start teleporting. That's really all you have to look out for. Oh, and the meteors. The meteors are blockable. The lightning move is not blockable. It is a guard break. If you can PB it, go ahead and PB it. You don't have to. All you have to really do is after you get hit by it, just drink a health potion. Same thing for when she first transforms. She is going to guaranteed hit you with like a meteor and the lightning and M1 you. So you're definitely going to want to drink a potion after all that's done. Alright, so Jailor Han is very similar to Cupid Queen. Jailor Han is very similar to Cupid Queen. He has a second phase, once you get him to half health, he'll start summoning scorpions. All you really have to do is just run outside the room, run out that first gate, and then just, group up all the scorpions and then, blow them up. That's really all you have to do. The reason why you want to do this and take care of the scorpions here is because if they hit you, they actually stun you. Like, they keep you in place for a good second or two. And that lets, Jailor Han do his rapid slash move and grab, and that could just completely end your run. So be sure to take care of the scorpions as fast as possible. Alright, so for this boss, there's actually two ways to beat him. The first way is, just doing what you've been doing. Spam Hollow Barrage and run around the room. Another way is actually to stay up on the bridge like you would usually do for the SUKE CYBORG method. But if you don't have GPO, you can climb up the back wall before you even start the fight. I do it later on, I use my ult to keep him in place. But you can just do it before the fight even starts. Climb up the back wall, climb up to the bridge and stay there. One thing to keep note is when you're staying up on the bridge, stay between like the empty spaces of the pillar. Do not stand under a pillar, because what that will do is make the boss climb. The boss, for some reason, before you changed it a while back, he made it so that certain bosses can climb up walls just randomly. Like, it could be a straight up wall and the boss will still climb it regardless. So you want to stand under the empty spaces of the bridge so that the boss won't climb up. Alright, so for the fourth floor, what you want to do is you want to switch to a melee build. The reason you want to do this is because of Kramprus. Kramprus doesn't really work well with this method. He can block the Hollow Barrages pretty much every time. So you don't want to use Horo for, this entire floor, or up until you fight Kramprus. Kramprus spawn he could be the first boss, he could be the last boss. That's the reason why you want to switch to a melee build just right off rip, just in case. After you fight Kramprus, you can switch back to the Horo build. If you get him first, you can switch right back and fight Santa and the Nutcracker with the Horo build. I personally don't do that because these bosses are just so incredibly easy to fight melee wise, and melee does more damage. So you can just stay on the melee build, you can switch to Horo. It's really up to you. Just do it after you fight Kramprus. Alright, so before you fight the final boss of this floor, what you want to do is you want to loot all these chests up until you get, 20 stamina potions, 20 health potions. Once you get that, it's really up to you what you do next. So if you're going to use a melee build for the final floor, what I recommend you do is you look for Night Gauntlets and you look for Yomi. If you don't get these, you can, go back and use whatever weapon you want. You can get the spear, you can use greatsword, you can use Kurabachi, it's whatever you want to use, but I just highly recommend using Night Gauntlets because it has like the highest M1. And I recommend you find a Yomi simply because of Death Defy. That's simply it. That's only if you're using a melee build for the final boss. If you're going to stick to the Horo build, all you need to look for is potions, and a recommendation is to try to find the whip or festival shield because of the hydras. For the actual floor 4 boss, what you want to do is if you want to stick to Horo, you can just reset your stats right now after you've done the melee build and just continue what you've been doing, or you can stay on a melee build and just fight them like that. This boss is very easy for melee, so I just stick to that. Also I have Night Gauntlet, so I just do a ton of M1. All you have to do is, if you're sticking to the melee build, is anytime he does 2 M1s, just get right behind him and then just start M1ing. And if you have Night Gauntlets, you can use a move after 5 M1s every time. If you're using Horo, like I said, just keep running around the room and just try to keep your distance as much as possible. Alright, so for ball, once again, if you're using Horo, you can just run around the room and spam Holo Barrage. Me personally, the final two bosses, which is Ball and Demon Jester, these bosses are very easy to melee. Demon Jester is a little bit harder. Ball is super easy. You can cancel literally all his moves. You can cancel the rapid slash move he has on Hollow Fang, and his fear move, whenever he does that, just run into M1 him. When you're M1ing him during fear, it literally just does not affect you at all. But if you're using Horo, like I said, just keep running around the room. He does teleport to you. That's not really a problem too much. Just, keep moving, constantly keep moving. But if you're on a melee build, just basically stay in his face as much as possible. That's the main goal you want to do. Alright, so for Demon Jester, no matter what you're using, whether you're using Horo or a melee build, what you want to do is you want to stay as far away as possible from the minefield. So whenever you see him use that move, just immediately run to an opposite direction of an open area. Do not stay in that area at all. Fighting in the minefield is the worst decision. Each mine does 120 damage, and most likely when you're in that fear mode, you're gonna run into another mine, and while this is happening, he can M1 you, he can use moves on you, and easily within 2 seconds you can go from max HP to limping. It's happened to me. I've lost a couple runs because of that. That's why I say just stay as far away as possible from the minefield. As soon as you hear it go off, just run away. If you're using Horo, just try your best to not dodge into that area. Just try to stay as far away as you can. Melee build, same thing. Just once you get away from the area, it's pretty easy to stay away because you're kind of just fighting them in an open area. But that's the main point of Demon Jester. Try and stay as far away as possible from that minefield. Alright, so for Vera, there's actually going to be two methods, the same things we've been doing, either the melee method or the Horo method. For the first method, I'm going to be showing Horo. So all you have to do in her first form is just keep spamming Holo Barrage. The only two things you have to look out for is Venom Road and the Venom Hydras. Whenever you see her arms go out to the side, like you see right there, she's going to use Venom Hydras. It is blockable in her first form, so just block it and then keep moving and then keep spamming Holo Barrage. But once she gets to the second form, what you want to do is you want to get her off the map. It doesn't matter how you do it, just get her off the map. You should have Geppo by now, so you can just go on top of the staircase, wait for her to get on top of there herself, and then Geppo off to the side and watch her fall down. Once she falls down, however, you want to send a Holo Barrage at her, but don't wait for all the ghosts to get on her. Just immediately snap. As soon as you send it, just keep snapping. Because one thing about this boss is that if you don't do damage for her for a certain amount of time, if you do no damage, she will teleport back to the middle. So you want to keep having some sort of damage, doesn't matter how much, just some type of damage on her at all times. So every time you send a Holo Barrage, just snap instantly. Don't wait for all the ghosts to get on her. Just snap instantly every time. And as for the Hydras, all you really have to do is just either you can use Tech Eye, the Festival Shield, or the Whip. Me personally, I was trying to Tech Eye, but I was always too late, so I just stopped doing it altogether. That's the only move that's going to hit you anyway. So after it hits you, just drink a health potion. That's all you have to do. And the next time it hits you, just drink another health potion. By the time you fully finish her off, there's no way you run out of health potions. If you have 15 health potions, the most you might use is maybe 5, maybe. Me personally, I think I only used like 4 and I had like 18 health potions. Like, you're definitely not gonna run out, so don't worry about getting hit. Just get hit by the hydras if you don't want to block them, and then drink a health potion. Alright, so for the melee part, all you're really going to do differently is that you're just going to look out for her moves a lot more. You're going to have to be cautious of her venom spit, of her hydra move, of her whip move, all that. You're going to have to look out for it way more. And when she transforms, the only thing you're really going to do is you're just really going to spam potions. That's the main part of this fight. Even in the first form, actually, the main thing is once you get to half health, immediately drink a potion. Once you get hit by a venom move, drink a potion. Like, you constantly want to have a potion active as much as possible, especially when you get hit, because all her moves do damage over time, except for the whip part. But once she transforms, all her moves do damage over time, and you're going to want to constantly be healing. Another thing is potion stack. That's a new change that Foley made just for this update. Potion stack. So if you're like below half HP, drink 2 potions. You should recover about 100 HP per tick. And if you're really low, like I'm saying like 500, 400 HP, I get really low in this. And what I should have done is I should have just drank like 2 potions back to back. That's all you're going to do is, like, if you have to drink 3 potions in a row, drink 3 potions in a row. That's the main thing you're going to do if you're running a melee build. And that's it. That's how you solo impel down with the new methods. It does take about the same amount of time as SUKE CYBORG. It takes around 45 minutes 50 minutes. My best run so far that I've done is 50 minutes. I can get it lower if I had a better maze and if I killed the bosses just a little bit faster. Since I've gotten used to the method, I definitely can do it in 45 minutes. But since I was just starting off, this run was an hour. I'll pull up the 50-minute run right now on screen. But yeah, you can go into Nightmare Plus and do the same thing if you want. You know, all you have to do is just find a Horo. That's really it. You don't have to. You can still use stuff like Pika. You can use CYBORG still. It's just that you won't be able to do SUKE, so it won't be as easy, but you still can kind of do it. It's still viable. I've done it already. Let me know if you guys want a video on that, you know, the new Nightmare Plus with Pika and CYBORG. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.